So very good morning, one and all. This is Kaunan Shahidi, and on behalf of Empowering Morning Conversations with Sukhdeepak Malwai and everyone present in this August gathering, I welcome you all to another empowering morning conversation. So, very good morning. Let's create some enthusiasm this morning. So, very good morning. Come on, camera, and let's celebrate the day. Sukhdeepak sir is traveling today, so he might join us if he gets the connectivity. If not, we are here to share, discuss, and rock. Because what could be the better way to start the day like this? Having discussion, having sharing, and the journey of self transformation every day. Because we live in the world, as you all know, that negativity bombarded every moment around us. And most of us, majority, if you see, we get influenced because of those negativity. But here in Empowering Morning Conversations with Sukhdeepak Malwai, we get the strength, we get the power, we get all the tools and techniques to not get influenced by the negativity. Rather, we ensure that we kick negativity out and we ensure we remain positive, calm, and create something new, not just go back into the default mode, sulking, complaining, blaming, resisting. No, we don't do that. We shift from that mode or that mindset to the create mindset. Though it's a bit challenging, easy to say, but not impossible to do. But that will happen only when you practice every day. And that's the purpose of Empowering Morning Conversations with Sukhdeepak Malwai. So I welcome you again, and let's just start the conversation. And I'll request quickly Shakti ji to welcome the audience and share what is the purpose of Empowering Morning Conversations. And then we will take this conversation forward. I have a couple of slides to share, and then we will take it over accordingly. So please, Shakti ji, take it over.
Good morning, sir. Good morning, everyone. Yeah, the purpose of Empowering Morning Conversations here to support each other, empower each other, and spread positivity. Okay, sir, today you can handle the session. I didn't even prepare anything. Thank you, sir.
Thank you so much. Support each other, strengthen each other, empower each other. And as Sir always say, that is his quotation that stop complaining, start living. And now almost I have memorized the three important points, the three important elements, the three important areas which we all focus every morning with Sukhdeepak Malwai is that shift from default mode to create mode and dissipate negativity and be the possibility seekers. And to do all these three important things, we also enhance our ability to focus, power to have attention on various aspects, and then have the complete energy and manage the moments, situations without becoming judgmental. So that's what we do every morning. And let me ask Prem Gandhi ji, if you can come on camera, sir, and share what is your thought on the purpose of Empowering Morning Conversation with Sukhdeepak Malwai. Prem ji, are you there?
Yes, I'm there. My purpose, first, I beat the total members. I'm really feel very good. Total team members experience very good. First, total Sukhdeepak ji, Niti ji, and Karan ji, Battery and Shakti ji, all the members, life experience very good. I could maximum. Maximum I'm listening and learning your program. I like it.
Thank you, sir. Thank you so much. So that's what, as Prem Gandhi sir mentioned, we learn new things because the way we operate in this world, we have been conditioned because of various situations in our past life, and we get habituated for our behavior in a specific way. So we think, we act in a specific manner. But here with Sukhdeepak Malwai, in empowering morning conversations, we break those barriers. We break those old process of thinking. We break all such things which stops us to move forward and become a better version of ourselves. Because we do all have the capability, we all have the potential, and we all have the power. But because of certain negative approach, certain thoughts, certain fixed point of views, we don't move forward. So every morning with Sukhdeepak Malwai here, we learn and we break those old thoughts pattern. And that's what we are going to discuss today about our fixed point of views, which yesterday and earlier Sukhdeepak sir had mentioned. So let me request Mr. Vetri, and then I will share my slides that what exactly is your thought on point of views, how important the point of views is for all of us. So may I request Mr. Vetri to share his thought on that. Vetriji.
Good morning, Kunalji. Good morning, all the lovely people. It's if I want to describe the feeling which I feel in one word, it's called the magic. In other word, it's called the miracle. In other word, it's called the gift. What I mean, gift, miracle, magic, and all. Hearing all these people in the early morning, all motivated, energetic, and ambitious about self-development. I am very happy to be there. And coming back to your question, you asked me what is the importance of having point of view. It goes little deeper into spiritual example said by one of the saint. Can I take 1 minute? Is it fine? Okay. They say sometimes some thorn get into your foot when you walk barefoot in the area. To remove that, we have a peculiar habit in villages. They use some needle. Sometimes they use some golden needle also to remove that thorn. But what they say is, even though it is a golden needle, you cannot keep putting into your body. You use that golden needle to remove the thorn inside your foot, which is hurting you. But end of the day, you have to throw out this golden needle also. So that is the example of point of view. You can have higher level of point of view to remove these obstacles, negativity, to go into the life. But ultimate life, the achievement of everything is having no point of view. That is what we are all going towards, and I believe. And
Beautiful.
Thank you very much for this opportunity, Kunalji. Over to you.
Beautiful, beautiful. So profound, Vetriji. The point of views are something, as Vetri explained, are the thorns somewhere. And with another point of views, we do try to remove, but ultimately, it's all about point of views. And today we are going to discuss about the fixed point of views, which Sukhdeepak sir has also yesterday discussed with us. So we would like to carry on so that we understand and we ensure that we take some real action by being in a state so that we go to that state which Vetri is talking about, is the no point of views. That would be so powerful. But before I share my slide, I will request Niti ma'am to share some of her thoughts, because I have personally observed, and I believe you will agree with me, that since couple of sessions or days or weeks, we find it different, Niti ji. So let's listen from her that how is she managing the point of views and becoming more beautiful, brighter, happier. Nitiji, please take it over.
Thank you, Kunal sir. To address the topic under discussion, I would, in the last couple of sessions, like last 4-5 sessions, what is coming to me and hearing all of you this morning, what is coming to me is the fixed point of view is something we all have. And I think this is the most covert kind of interferer that we have, and it is the ultimate of control. We are controlling our own selves. We fight against external control, another person trying to control us or a process trying to control us. But this is our own control over our own selves with our fixed point of views. And this is definitely a covert nature because we grow up with this is right, this is wrong, the right and the wrong definitions and the demarcations. In many ways, they are needed to guide a broader understanding of what is a fair approach and what is not a fair approach, or what is an ethical approach and what is not an ethical approach. But as we grow up, we forget that the purpose of it is the demarcation of this is the acceptable side and this is not the preferred side of things. And we begin to get very fixed, whether it is our job and our salary package, and within the salary package also the basic and the variable percentage also we are fixed on. So, and similarly in life on other things, even a dish that we eat, the taste of that dish, the crispness of our chapati, the way the next person greets you, we are all very fixed, and fixed point of views are the covert interferers that now I'm beginning to realize how much it has been controlling me, and therefore the inner me has been hiding away. In Kasa's language, the me in me has been hiding away because of these fixed points of view and not being able, the me in me is not being able to emerge. So definitely for my own good, for my own growth, to know my inner self and bring out my inner capabilities, I need to let go of these fixed points of views. Thank you, sir.
Wonderful. So profoundly and beautifully explained, Nitiji. So that point of views, what Niti ma'am was talking, is basically separating with the real self. That separation, as Sudeepak sir always say, that interferes. And if we identify what exactly is resisting me, what exactly are the interferers, then we start identifying that fixed point of views. And gradually, what Vetri was talking is that we can dissolve those point of views and ultimately reach to that state. So beautiful. And Shri Prasad Reddy Garu is a veteran and entrepreneur. He is managing so many other individuals as he has many employees. And I'm sure he had once upon a time challenges to managing many different point of views in his factory. But gradually, he has also improved his perception about himself and others. So let's listen from him that how does he manage his point of views and other complex point of views of other human beings. Prasadji, please take it over to you.
Sir, good morning. In fact, I stopped complaining, number one. Number two, I just have a small question. What is wrong in having fixed point of view if it is in a positive way?
Right, sir. We will address this question and we carry this session forward. And thank you so much. And congratulations if you have.
Sorry, Kunalji, sorry to interrupt. I missed the question. Sorry, Ji. Reddy, sir.
No, I just asked, what is wrong in having fixed point of view if it is in a positive direction?
Okay.
Yeah, we will discuss this. And going forward, I'll also invite and welcome and request Hasina Ji, because she is an example for me and all of us. I'm sure you will agree. Once upon a time, she had relationship with her daughter-in-law, was in a different state. Now she's completely happy, contented, enjoying the life. So let's listen from her what she does to manage her fixed point of views. Hasina ji, welcome.
Yes. Sorry. I sort of never believed, I had a fixed point of view that I never believed in whatever she said. Saying sometimes I feel she was just showing off, but that was not the truth. Then as I started with EMC, I started looking from her point of view. And I realized that that's what my point of view was really wrong. And that is what has changed our relationship. I started believing in her, which is the change in me about my point of view. And that has changed my life totally. When she's not around, I miss her. In the past, I used to just wish, I hope she goes out somewhere. This is the difference. Thank you.
Wonderful, wonderful. We can definitely feel your feelings, the way you are expressing. And since I have seen you personally interacting with Sukhdeepak sir on many occasions and sharing your thoughts, your emotions with all of us. So this change or transformation in your approach of managing your thoughts and your point of views from separation to love is something so powerful. And congratulations and thank you, Hasina ji. Let's listen from
Thank
Shakti. Let's listen from Shakti Rajanan, her point of views on this point of view.
Good morning, sir. Good morning, everyone. Sir, just I want to answer to Reddy sir's questions regarding the fixed point of view about the positive stuff. Sir, whether we are the one giving the judgment for whether it's a positive going or negative going, we are judging about that and then we are moving forward. If you don't have any point of view, the possibilities are so wider. Even if you don't have that point of view, even you may achieve more. Still, you are having that particular point of view, you are going in the very limited direction, it's narrowed down your possibilities. That's my understanding, sir, about the point of view. Also, the point of view, it creates our reality. So if you are asking this question, who does this belongs to? For every thought it's popping up, I think within few years, we don't have any point of view. That's what I learned from Access. Thank you, sir.
Yeah, thank you, Shakti ji. What I understood, the questions Reddy Garu had asked is, if I am correct, let's listen from Niti ji also. He asked that what is wrong if we have fixed point of views about certain positive aspects of the life. So if we understand that, okay, this is good for me, this is positive, this will bring good result. So, and he has fixed point of view about that element, that approach, that attitude, that feeling, etc. So let's listen from Niti ji. Yes, ma'am, please take it over.
Reddy sir, can you give us an example of what you have in your mind when you're talking about a good concept in a fixed point of view?
No, like I have moral values embedded within me, and I strongly believe it, and it is my fixed point of view. I'll never change it.
Can you elaborate with an example? What is this value that you are holding on so strongly?
I think anything. For example, I give respect for all the elders, irrespective of their position, definitely. Whether they are poor, whether they are rich, whether they are in high position, definitely I'll give respect to them. This
So
is
I think
point of view.
this is a very good example, but then here what I see is it is more, it is crossing the border from a fixed point of view to an integrity issue, a value issue, and it has higher value than limitation. So again, you know, this is, it is a inner part of a nature that you have cultivated, which is rewarding and which is ethical. So I think where our discussions are on a daily basis, where we are looking at materialistic things and we are looking at interpersonal relationships with a fixed point of view, where we are not considering the value aspect, we are considering our own, that is what I've understood from the topic, that we are looking at our own personal interest over and above the value aspect of any interpersonal or materialistic thing. That is what I've understood. But yes, you are right in pointing out when it is a value and integrity concept and character value that is going to enhance your personality and spread positivity, there is nothing wrong with it. You're right on that part, sir.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you, Nitiji. Actually, Prasad Garu, I had parked your question to discuss at the end, but it's good that Shakti ji pointed out certain things and Niti ma'am as well. The fixed point of view, what we learned from Sukhdeepak sir, you must be remembering that he indicated the negative element of our point of views, which we are rigid, fixed, and not willing to change. So it seems you have already changed your certain point of views, and now your point of views about certain elements are, as Niti ma'am explained, about the positive aspects of integrity and moral values. So basically, it's the choices now what you have created are different than the previous choices. So in one way, it is powerful, it's useful, and it is good to have those choices with the fixed point of views. But of course, we will, with the time, we will evolve and we'll request Sukhdeepak sir to address this question maybe in the next session. But for the time being, as Niti ma'am explained, Shakti explained, and you must be getting it, that it's good to have the positive point of views which you are choosing to create something good. So let's listen more from Ashok sir. He's experienced individual, accomplished personalities. Let's welcome and listen from Ashok sir. Yes, sir, take it over.
Good morning, everybody. Please
Good
do not add any adjectives in front of the name. The first thing, if we go back to tracing, human being is a social animal. If it's a social animal word I'm saying, then there have to be some rules, and everybody is supposed to follow that, because we are social animal and we want to live in a colony or togetherness, which imposes certain norms, which we call fixed point of view or the rules. Just to give a totally absurd example, and every time we are comparing with the child who has no fixed point of view, who has no reservations, who has nothing to, let's say, fall back upon, or this good or that bad, he goes around without any clothes and he doesn't feel anything wrong going naked and running around. We tell him, "Arey, arey, kidhar ja raha hai? Kapde pehno, kapde pehno." So we create all those limitations on the person. So what Mr. Reddy said, that yes, fixed point of view should not be there, but there are certain disciplines which we are imposed on ourselves and which we think are good. Honesty, for example. Irrespective what happens, I am going to be honest. It is good, but honesty is not good all the time. Sometimes you can keep quiet. There is nobody asks you to talk. If a small kid lifts up something kept in front of the god and eats before it is naivedya bolte hamare mein, before it is offered to the god, he picks up one and eats. He's going to be reprimanded by the elders. Kya re? ये क्या किया तुमने? भगवान को देना था, भगवान को देने से पहले खा लिया. That time, even if you see a kid and keep quiet, you don't have to be honest कि इसने खाया करके बोलने की जरूर नहीं है. So we are educated we are mature, we are living in a society. Society has got certain rules and regulations, certain norms which have to be observed. As long as we feel those norms we are observing, we are good. But if we miss one norm somewhere, the fingers are pointed to us. Dekho ye kya kar raha hai, dekho ye kya kar raha hai. So yes, there should not be fixed point of view, but I can decide what is good for me and not good for me. If I am going little away, if my dhanda is selling liquor unofficially, and on that my family is, let's say I am feeding my family, what do I do? So everything is bad and everything is good, ऐसा नहीं होता है. Each one is different. Each one has his own fundamentals. Each one has his own rules, etc., etc. Taking bribe is bad. But taking bribe from whom, when, why, there are so many things which are bad. And taking bribe or taking money, sometimes if I accept 1,000 rupees from somebody who has made a mistake, usko bola maine ye, I am imposing fine on you, and in that money, instead of depositing with the government, if I donate to the hospital where the cancer patients are treated, is it good or bad? Do you think all politicians are clean and good? They are doing everything good for us, but we go and vote for them. So there are so many conflicting views, conflicting approaches, conflicting principles about it. So I agree with our Reddy Sahib that I can have my principles and rules, and which I will honestly follow. Yes, I'm diverting. I'm a king. One of my business is to expand my kingdom. So I go and try to conquer neighboring country. Now it is good or bad. I am a king. I want to expand my kingdom. So I am conquering. That country may say that he is doing all this nonsense and etc. etc. But for my country, I am doing good by expanding my kingdom. So it is a conflicting situation, conflicting thoughts. There have to be rules, I agree. But having fixed thoughts or having fixed objects or having fixed principles is not always bad or always good. We have to weigh based on our civilization and the rules of the society. Sorry, I digress from principles to so many other things. Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you, Ashokji. I think your words are very powerful. I was listening intently, and we have to follow the moral values ultimately. But coming back to the topic today and what we are discussing, so thank you so much for sharing, Ashokji. This will help us to understand more about what we were discussing today, the fixed point of views. And just a quick takeaway from the conversation till now, and reminding myself, as Sukdeepak sir always mentioned, that when we are at the highest level of consciousness, everything exists, but nothing is judged. And ultimately, Sukdeepak sir has given us a tool whenever we are thinking about our point of views or other point of views or the situation, whether we are feeling lighter or heavier. So that's one of the best indication whether it is okay or not kind of approach, because we are all energy being, and our first language of communication is energy. So the thoughts, the point of views, whether it is positive, negative, Yes, it will keep on coming, but how exactly we are feeling, what is the state of being in that moment with certain point of views, that matters a lot. So if you are feeling lighter, Reddy Garu, and if you are happy, contented, everything is, you feel okay, then it's okay. But if you feel heavier, then use the tool as Shakti had reminded many times, that who does this belong to? And give it back to the sender. You feel lighter. But if you feel the point of views, what you are telling is the fixed point of views in the positive aspect, giving you the lighter moment, lighter feeling, it's lighter. You are happier. So let me quickly share my slides, and then we'll carry this conversation forward. And the slide what I had, where is this? Yeah. Actually, this is a term normally we use a lot. If you can see my screen, just give me thumbs up. Yeah. So this is a term we use a lot, which is a very commonly used. If you ask other people not in this gathering, they don't know the point of views. But most of us, we know ego. Oh, I have ego, or this person has ego, or ego is not good, is bad, and we should not be egoistic, etc. So I just wanted to discuss quickly on this aspects for have more clarity. So how exactly we can free from this word known as ego? Is it possible to free yourself from this ego or not? And what is ego? As we discussed, and as sir has told earlier, is fixed point of views. In a specific moment, we are talking about this a fixed point of views. So something is happening with us in a situation where we are interacting with someone or handling a situation, and then we have certain point of views which are fixed. We are not willing to change. So that's what, in short, ego is your fixed point of views in that moment, with your thought, understanding, feeling that this is what it is and this is correct. I don't want to change. That's what we are focusing for next 5-10 minutes, to understand what exactly is that, what happens, and how can we free ourselves from that. As Niti ma'am explained, that you separate yourself from yourself if you have that fixed point of views. And this is what I have just mentioned, certain statement here. If you see on the screen, the ego keeps you locked away in your own little world, separated from the present moment. Let me repeat. The ego, or the fixed point of views, or the point of views in that moment, keeps you locked away in your little world, that I am perfect, I am right, this is good, this is what is correct, nothing else is going to change. And this separates from the present moment. And also, this ego does this thoughts with a fixed point of view by creating fear, self-judgment, and judgment of others. So we become fearful that this is my fixed point of view, I cannot change. If I change, something wrong will happen to me. And then we start judging self, and we start judging other person or the situation. And then this fixed point of view, or the ego, whatsoever we label it, it thrives on separating you from the moment and from others who share in this moment with you. So it automatically creates a separation, that no, I am fine, I am right, he or she is wrong. My point of view is correct, her or his point of views are not correct. So there is a complete separation in that moment. So that we have to be very careful that what exactly is happening. So let me quickly stop this slide with this question, that what do you do to manage those moments I'm talking about? That moment when you have the fixed point of view that no, this is what it is correct. So let's quickly have discussion on this, and then I have a couple of slides to share how exactly I manage, what exactly I do. So let me request Priya Gupta ji, if you can come on camera, or anyone, please raise your hand and share. If you face certain situation or certain moments in your day-to-day life that you say, no, this is what is my fixed point of view, I don't want to change. And if you feel that it is separating you from that moment, what exactly you do? May I request Priya ji? Yeah.
Hi, sir. Hi, everyone. So when I feel this is my fixed point of view, for a moment I pause and just rethink what I am saying to myself and just simply say this is an interesting point of view, and then I laugh a lot and then go back to action again. This is what I do.
Wonderful, so profound. I really love it. So simply, very simple tool. I think with the awareness, Priya ji is knowing that what's happening, and then she changes the thoughts, and then she moves on by laughing out loud. So how do you laugh, by the way, Priya ji? Can you have a laughter session from you? Okay, fine. So anyone else would like to share what exactly you do? How do you manage that moment when you get aware that I am stuck? I have chosen something which is my fixed point of view. I don't want to change. Yes, ma'am. Nitiji, please take it over.
So in my understanding, when it comes to ego and the fixed point of view behind the ego, what I feel is when we are in our default state and the I becomes bigger, much larger than the solution to handle the situation, is when the ego becomes active, and ego is there in every human being by default nature. However we manage it, I don't think I'm not qualified to make the statement, but I think everybody has a little element of ego. However active or inactive we keep it as in our individual's capacity. It is just the fact that the I in handling a situation is far bigger than solving the situation, giving it a solution which is neutral and a win-win solution. The moment the focus changes to a neutral win-win situation, the I becomes insignificant because the outcome of the situation is far more rewarding than the I itself. And like we keep saying, acha karam karo, phal ki apeksha mat karo. So when you solve a situation in a win-win situation, the reward of it will definitely filter to you. But in ego, we try and snatch away a reward rather than being given a reward. Rather than being blessed with a reward or awarded with a reward, we are snatching it away. So that, in my opinion, is that is how I see ego and fixed point of view and handling the situation. That is my view on it. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you so much. Very profoundly explained. So focus is on the result, the outcome. So that helps to get away from that moment of separation with I, with self, with me, ego. Thank you so much, ma'am, for sharing. Let's listen from Shakti ji. Yes, ma'am.
For me, at the moment, I'll be in argument. I try to prove I'm right. I will go in that mode. I'll try to put the points, or I'm trying to argue with them, like why I'm trying to say this is right. All those things, I'll put my arguments for that. Still, if it's not going well, then I'll put step back. I'll maintain such a comfortable distance for that particular circumstances or situation. I want to come out of that for some time till my mind keep calm and cool. After that, I will start looking into that from their perspective. Then I will approach the situation. But after access, this is little bit changed. I'm not taking that much time. When I'm conversing itself, I'm telling that interesting point of view. I have this point of view. That's helping me to relax much more and able to handle the situation better.
Yeah. Thank you, Shakti ji. Thanks for sharing. What I'm taking away from your thought is that it's all about the awareness. So with the access consciousness, your awareness had got enhanced. So now you know what's going on in this mind, what's it's creating, and then you're choosing something more powerful to create something better. So powerful.
Sure.
Thank you, ma'am. So
Yeah,
let's listen.
even whether I am accepting that situation or not, that doesn't matter. But I'm able to come into that stage.
Very
I'm
powerful.
making that choice. Yes.
Very powerful. So more power to you, Shakti ji, to Shakti. So let's listen from other Shakta, Vetri ji.
Renji, your happiness is infectious and we are all becoming happy. Thank you very much for being there and doing that. My point of or my share for this conversation is, you asked what is ego, how to define it, something. I want to share two examples and my understanding as well. My definition for ego is rigidness towards our point of view is ego. Simple, because it is our point of view and we are so fixed, are so rigid, then it's ego. One example is I went on, it's long back, went to one forum, I met somebody. They were talking, and in particular the lady was talking. We were expecting somebody. I asked her when he will be coming. If he comes, good. If he's not coming, very bad, because that's how we live, no? Right or wrong, good or bad, something. She said one profound said, she said, if he comes, good. If he doesn't come, very good. I got shocked. What? Is there any point of view like that? That's honestly new for me. I have been living whole life thinking good, bad, right, wrong, like that. And there is another point of view she's introducing. If it is coming, good. If it is not coming, very good. You apply this point of view to everything in life. Certain things are happening, good. If certain things are happening, very good, because we don't have any problem because of that. It's another point of view. Recently, one of work situation, one of the colleagues, I was asking some options. Can we do this, that? You want to do this way or that way? Something like that. It's a very strict office communication. He's from a Tamil guy. We speak Tamil. I say in Tamil and understand it. He says, meaning, I'm okay with this, I'm okay with that. What? Meaning it's complete open, right? We are just loosening the point of view. Nothing wrong in putting our desire base, nothing. We can just go and give. See, I wish to do that, but I am okay with whatever comes in. I am completely open to take another point of view, because you're just loosening the rigidity, meaning you're losing the ego. Point of view is fine. Just quick word to Reddy sir from my side. Fixed point of view on a good thing is always good, but it is like pouring the water through a pipe. How about a rain? How about a sun? It doesn't judge anybody. Something it can give. One quick example is India. Earlier, we were such a nice people. We don't fight, we don't conquer any country. We were living in such a way that so many people came, looted so many things happened. But can we still say that I am, by fixed point of view, I am Ahimsa guy. I will not fight with anybody. Whoever comes and beats, still I smile. So you cannot say, because you have evolved. Now you have strengthened your army power. We are 4th largest army power in the world, and we can fight anybody. We can show our muscle. It's not that we are going to fight it, but we are changing that fixed point of view. It's not that I always good, I don't beat like you. Bottom line is, you can be good, you can do fixed thing always, but are you operating out of choice? Any point of moment, if I want to change it, I will change it, but still I'm doing it. That is fine. But I cannot change myself. In Tamil, there is a dialogue. If I decide something on myself, I will not listen to myself. That is all not good. It's a little egocentric. I have choice all the time, but still I choose to do this, then it is good. You can be good at certain things. But certain things are required. You have to be ready to change. That's the idea. And my understanding of this topic, Punenji, if you loosen up your rigidity towards your point of view, you're open for any point of view, you are moving away from ego. Thank you very much.
Yeah, thank you, sir. Thank you so much. And this reminds me, Sukdeepak Malvai sir has always told us that if you have your point of view, as Vetri mentioned, that loosen it, listen the other point of views, the other persons, and observe what else is possible. And then we get the third point of view, something better. So loosening of fixed point of view is very important. But how do you do? That's what we were discussing. And let me share the slide again, what exactly I do, so that we will just quickly wrap up the session. So just think it over that what exactly you do to manage your fixed point of views or your ego in your day-to-day activities. Something is happening in any situation, any moment that you are stuck, you are fixed. Now, this is what it is. And it is making you heavier. Then what exactly you do? So normally what I do, and this is another thing I wanted to share with you all, that we get trapped. And how we get trapped, if you can see my slide, basically what ego does, and as Niti ma'am very beautifully explained, that it always take us in the past, somewhere with the references, something had happened, and make it ensure that it creates some sort of fear that you might lose something or something wrong might happen to you, because our brain operates with the past references. It doesn't know something new. It always takes something from the past. But when we talk about the future, it creates some sort of illusion, some sort of fear that this is unknown. You might get hurt. So whenever we have this ego or the fixed point of views in a specific moment or situation, which we feel heavier, either we are into the past or in the future. If you observe, whenever if it is happening to you in any moment, either you'll be in the past or in the future. So that's the trap of ego. That's the trap of that self, which separates us from the current present moment with the people, with the situation, with the existence that as is that time. So that keep in the mind that when you are feeling heavier, either you are in the past or the future, and bring yourself back into now. That's what Shakti explained and Vetri explained, that if you are completely aware that, oh, this is what is happening with me, my thoughts are like this, and I have the power to choose the new thoughts and change it. And then you be present in the now. So the trap, what ego uses, just to remember, is that taking references from the past, future, and creating something. And what I have learned, which I wanted to share with you all, as Sukdeep sir always say, that we are infinite human beings, and we are basically the feelings being, emotions being. We operate from our feelings and emotions. And there's a big list of different types of emotions, but ultimately all the emotions have origins either love or fear. So let me share what exactly I do, the 3 strategies. I always believe in certain things to remind me in that moment, and it helps me to make the things simpler and easier. How exactly I manage that moment, that situation, when I feel that, oh, it is my fixed point of view, and I'm rigid, feeling heavier. So the first thing what I do, can you see my screen? Yep.
Yes,
Okay.
yes.
So first thing is that choose love. Any moment, either we are in a being of love or fear. This is what my observation. So in case you feel stuck, feeling heavier, fixed point of views, rejecting others, other opinions, situation, and separating yourself from yourself, the real self, then remind yourself that I'm a wonderful, powerful, magnificent human being, and I have the power to choose love over fear. And when you remind yourself that this situation, love has not created this situation, this thought, it is not real, because love is the only emotion, while fear is an illusion. Fear is an illusion. It's all about future. It has not happened yet. It might not happen. But ego, that fixed point of views, tells us that it might happen. It will happen. And if it happens, what will you do? It creates fear. So that thought which separates us, and we are fixed to that point of view, not willing to change, basically originates from fear. So as soon as you realize feeling heavier, choose love, replace fear with love, with self, situation, others, everything, because that's powerful emotion. Now, the second thing what I do is no complaints. As Vetri explained, that accept, let it come. Okay, this point of view, fine, this point of view, fine. And as Sukdeepak sir always says, very profound statement that each and every experience provides an opportunity to become the better version of yourself. And that experience, that moment can be good, can be bad, can be ugly, whatsoever it is. Let it come. No complaints. This is also good, that is also good. If he is coming, good. If he is not coming, very good. That mental attitude, no complaints, never. Let it come. Be in the allowance, absorb. What will happen? And have the love, compassion, allowance mindset. And when you can, and this is what I wanted to request you, is that observe for a day or for a week. Make it sure that whatsoever happens in your life, in a situation, you will not complain. Let it come, let it come. We have to practice actually. So intently, deliberately, if choose the moments by telling ourselves that whatsoever happened in my life, whatsoever happened, I will not complain. Let's practice. Let's see what happens. With this attitude, you'll start developing the approach of not having the fixed ego point of views. Now, the third thing what I do is be grateful. Well, any moment to whomsoever you are interacting or whatsoever is happening, something is happening and you are in being a state, be grateful that something good is there. So when we tell ourselves, as Vetri explained, if he's coming, good. If he's not coming, very good. It's gratefulness that something good is there. And whatsoever happens, as Sukdeepak sir always say, that from the universe is happening for good. So let's accept it and remind ourselves that all the things in that situation, a specific moment, whatsoever happening, it is good. And you will find even whether in your family, as Hasina ma'am explained with her daughter-in-law, she used to complain. But when she started feeling, no, she is helping. Her daughter-in-law is helping her in many ways. And she has done many things good for her, taking care of her. And there is a gratefulness. So when the gratefulness get enhanced over the fear, removing the feeling of she is not good, then she started feeling better. So gratefulness in that moment, find it, what is good? And this person has done something good for me, or this situation is something better. Then you will start dissolving this ego. And as sir always mentioned, and some session he had taken, that enthusiasm. So be in that, not just having enthusiasm, but being enthusiastic. That means you have to be, sort of vibrational energy that you are ready to be in the positive state, mind state, and the persistent traction. We can conquer that ego, which separates us in that moment from self and make us heavier and put us back in the default mode. We lose the creativity. So that way we can become even the better individual, and we'll have full of life, ease, joy, and glory. So this is what I wanted to share, some of my thoughts on the subject we were discussing. I can see Sukdeepak sir on the screen. So welcome, sir. Safe travels. And just to let you know that we were discussing today that what exactly happens in a moment when we have fixed point of view, and what exactly stops us, the term ego, what exactly is that? And we had a wonderful sharing, and we discussed that it's all about the realization of our thoughts in that specific moment. And since that fixed point of view separates us from the situation, from the moment, in that moment, making us fearful, normally I choose love, I choose no complaints attitude, and I choose gratefulness to help myself to be away from that mind state of ego and creating problem and fear. So let's friends, let's welcome Sukhdeepak sir, and I'll hand over this mic to him. Please, sir, take it over if you can speak.
Well, I have just 1 minute and I don't have anything more to say. So thank you very much for doing such a wonderful session, Kunen. And I wish you all the best and have a wonderful day. And I think it's time for your share, Kunen. And if Kuldeep ji is there, we should have his share too. So I joined just to listen to your share today. No, मैंने कहा last में at least I should listen to the share, no? और कुछ मिले ना मिले. So why don't you share your share?
Thank you, sir. You are so generous, so grateful, and thanks for encouraging all of us with your presence. And before I find my share of the day, I would request anyone else, friends, the platform is open, and that's why this is the conversation. So if you want to share something or share your share, since where is the Kamal Ji is our regular shire, and anyone else in any other language whatsoever coming to your mind, Venkatesh Ji is also there. Please do share some of your thoughts in the form of share or anything, so that we learn from you all. So Kamal Ji, are you there?
Yes, sir. Good morning, sir. Good morning. Good morning, all. शेर एक है जो याद आ रहा है कि कभी जो ख्वाब था पा लिया हमने, कभी जो ख्वाब था पा लिया हमने, मगर जो खो गई वो चीज क्या है?
वाह, क्या बात है। दोबारा मुकर्रर।
कभी जो ख्वाब था पा लिया हमने, मगर जो खो गई वो चीज क्या है?
मगर जो खो गई वो चीज क्या है? चलिए मैं सुनाता हूं सर। अर्ज किया है कि हम भी दरिया हैं, हम भी दरिया हैं, हमें अपना हुनर मालूम है। हम भी दरिया हैं, हमें अपना हुनर मालूम है। जिस तरफ भी चल पड़ेंगे रास्ता हो जाएगा, जिस तरफ भी चल पड़ेंगे रास्ता हो जाएगा। तो today Sukhdeepak sir is traveling somewhere, creating a new path. I'm just kidding, but the power within us is that हम भी दरिया हैं. Darya is sea, you can say river. हमें अपना हुनर मालूम है. We see the flow of the water. You know, जिस तरफ भी चलेंगे रास्ता हो जाएगा. You can't stop water. If there's a flow of water coming, it finds a way, create a way. और अर्ज किया है कि मैं खुदा का नाम लेकर पी रहा हूं दोस्तों, मैं खुदा का नाम लेकर पी रहा हूं दोस्तों। जहर भी इसमें होगा दवा हो जाएगा, जहर भी इसमें होगा दवा भी हो जाएगा। So we have to have that attitude that every moment, whatsoever moment is there coming, let it come. And as Vetri explained, let it come. If he is coming, good. If he is not coming, very good. So if it is happening, good. If it's not happening, very good. So with that mindset, अगर जहर भी हो इसमें होगा तो दवा हो जाएगा. So that was me. Thank you, sir. Back to you.
And where is Vetrivel? I thought he will tell us some Tirukural today.
Vetri was here. He shared some profound sharing, and then he went somewhere to bring more for us. So we'll wait.
So I think it's time to close, isn't it? We have gone beyond 8 o'clock. So
Yes, sir.
bye from me. Have a nice day. God bless you all. See you tomorrow.
See you tomorrow, sir. Safe travel, sir. Take care.
Bye.
Stay safe.
God
Stay
bless
blessed.
everyone.
You
Thank
too.
you, sir.
Bye-bye.
Kunen, sir, excellent session.
Thank you.
Very, very lucidly explained.
Thank you, sir. We all are learning, sir. So there is the journey of learning something new, something becoming better. So thank you so much, Srinidhi ma'am, for sharing. Shakti ji, thank you so much, Vetri ji, and those who could not share, thank you also for your presence. And see you tomorrow with Sukhdeepak Malwai with another empowering morning conversations to ensure that we shift ourselves from default to create and become the better version of ourselves. So stay safe, stay blessed. Myself, Kunen Shahidi, I sign it off today. Take care. Bye-bye.
Thank you very much.
Bye-bye, Kunen ji. Great session today. Lot of learnings.
Bye-bye, sir. Thank you so much, sir. Keep on coming on time.
Certainly.